Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is the first video in a three-part series. What today's video is about is home defense. We're going to be testing three different firearms, and those firearms are going to be a 9mm handgun, a 5.56 AR, and a 12 gauge shotgun. So we're going to be running through three different scenarios in home defense. The first scenario is you wake up in the middle of the night because you hear a noise. You come out and you see that there's a threat with a firearm and they are heading towards your kid's bedroom. Okay? We're going to see how the three different firearms handle this situation and the pros and cons between them. The second situation is you've woken up, the threat has one of your kids or a loved one, and they are heading to their vehicle. They're still in your house, but they are trying to get out of your house, but they have your loved one with them. They have them at gunpoint. They have control of your loved one. The third scenario that we're going to go through is you woke up, you see the threat, they have not made it towards your kid's bedroom yet, they still have a firearm, and they see you, so they try and take some cover. They're clearly not surrendering. They're pointing the firearm at you, but they're hiding behind a couch. And we're going to see which caliber does the best in all three situations, compare them, and see, I'll let you guys know what I would use as home defense. And this is just information for you guys to decide what you think is best in your home. Something that I'd like to add that I didn't initially cover was, a lot of times people think that they have control over these situations. We all tend to play these things in our mind of, oh, well, if the bad guy breaks in, they're going to break in through this door, and I'm going to be coming around this corner, and, I'm going to be able to have this angle on them. But the truth of the matter is, you never have control over these scenarios. You only can control how you respond to these situations. So, you may think that, well, I'd hear them, or I have a security system, so they're not going to get into my house. Well, you know what? You don't get to control that. Yes, you may have a security systems, but things fail. So we're going to see in these specific scenarios, that could happen to anybody, which firearm is going to perform the best. Now, if you're thinking about purchasing a firearm for you or your family's safety, that is awesome, and I'm happy to hear that. But please make sure that you understand how to use and how to store a firearm safely. That is the number one most important thing you can do. A firearm is just a tool, and if you don't know how to use a tool, or you don't know how to store the tool, it could be more dangerous than anything else. So please go visit, your local gun shop or your local gun range and ask them if they have classes, so you can get well versed in how to use and store a firearm properly. So guys, for the first scenario, it is the bad guy in front of your child's door. I took a jug of water, okay, and I wrapped it in a shirt. I folded the shirt in half so it is double ply. Basically 2 pieces of clothing in the front, 2 in the back. Now we have your child's door. Then we have a freshly painted piece of AR-500 steel, so we can see if the bullet travels through the bad guy, through the door, and hits the AR-500 steel. If it does, that is a problem. We don't want bullets going through the bad guy into your child's room. And then lastly, I set up a pizza box to kind of see if the bullet deflects, what will it do? Is it, going through the door, missing the steel, and just going straight into the box? Is it creating a bunch of shrapnel that's going all over the place? So we're just going to kind of see what we would expect to see after the hollow point from the 9mm hits the bad guy. What does it do? As I've expressed before, with shooting, safety first. Make sure you have your ears and eyes on whenever testing or using any firearms. So guys, first up is the 9mm handgun. So this is my everyday carry. First things first, we are clear, it is safe. This is the SIG M18. It is based on the P320 model. This is a SIG Romeo 1 Pro. Red dot. The nice thing about this is it mounts right to the gun. You don't need an adapter plate. This is a nice little red dot. I love this thing. This is my everyday carry handgun. and we will be shooting some 9mm hollow points out of it. I'm not sure off the top of my head what brand these hollow points are, but when I get inside, I'll figure it out and I'll let you know later on in the video. All right, so let's test this out. Now let's see what the 9mm hollow point did. Right off the bat, you can see this. I actually missed the first shot. So anyways, you can see we did not hit the steel. I do not see anything on that box, which is a good sign. Here is the back part of the door. Okay, we can see it looks like the projectile went through. So we'll put that aside. Second one. Okay, you can actually see some of the clothing, which means that the projectile opened up and carried some of the clothing through. Okay, so we can actually see that projectile right there. So we'll fish that out in a second. So we know that it went straight through this bottle. Okay. And rip that shirt off. Okay, so good news is it did not go into your child's room. Now, that is what we want. We got a dead bad guy, and we have safe kids. I'm going to try and dig this projectile out. Let's see. Look at that. Beautiful. Hey guys, so this bullet did exactly what it was designed to do. It opened up into this flower pattern, and the reason we want that is because when the bullet is traveling, it is carrying an insane amount of energy, and we want it to hit soft tissue, or in this scenario, the water bottle, and we want it to dump all of that energy into the threat. If it does not dump the energy into the threat and it stays with the bullet will travel through the threat with way more energy than we want it to, and will break through whatever's behind it. In this scenario, the bullet opened up, dumped all the energy into the threat, eliminating it, and then stopping at our child's door. That is exactly what I want to see in my self-defense ammunition. Up second, guys, is my Aero Precision 5.56. We will be shooting some green tip ammunition. I believe it is 55 grain. Once again, I'll check in when I get inside and let you know later on in the video the exact ammunition that I'm shooting. All right, let's try it out. All right off the bat, looks like this AR-500 steel has some marks on it, so that is not a good sign. Yep, and you can see that there is shrapnel on that box, which means there is shrapnel in our kid's bedroom. Okay, so this is the back side of the door. You can see that our projectile was coming through sideways, which is kind of exactly what we would expect, because 5.56 tumbles when it hits soft tissue. Yep, so here's our front side of our door. We can see that we were sideways coming through there. Actually, I believe, yeah, that's the 9mm right there, sorry. This one right here is the 5.56, and we can see that lines up pretty dang perfect with the second part of the door. So our round was tumbling as we would expect. So came straight through. There is our entrance going straight. There's our exit coming out sideways. So the bad guy's dead, but your kids are getting hit with shrapnel. That is not what we want. Last but not least, we have our 12 gauge shotgun. We're going to be shooting some high brass. It is buckshot. So Let's try it out, see how it does. Right off the bat, failure to eject. That's not good. Hopefully you don't need a follow-up shot. I had repainted the steel, so I see a definite 1, 2, 3. Replace the cardboard, so you got 4, 5. Okay. Back door, not looking great. Okay, blew a ginormous chunk out of it. Front of the door, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, blasting through. Well, you could definitely say the bad guy is dead, but you know, one of your kids might be taking at least a trip to the hospital, so that is not ideal. Yeah, we don't want that. All right, guys, let's do a quick recap to end the first part of this video. All right, so you know, the 9mm hollow points, I'd say performed exceptionally. Killed the threat, did not go through the bedroom door. That is key when we're talking home defense, right? You don't get to control the angles. You don't get to control the situation. So you want to be confident that when you hit that threat, that you are not going to over-penetrate. You are not going to hurt or kill what is behind the threat, okay? So scenario number 1, 9mm performed exceptionally. Now 5.56, that performed well. You know, it killed the threat. It tumbled, as you would expect a 5.56 to do. You know, so it's dumping a lot of energy into that threat, but it penetrated through the bedroom door. It fragmented, so it created shrapnel. You know, that shrapnel is traveling a bunch of different ways. Shrapnel sucks. You don't want to get hit with shrapnel. So, you know, that's definitely not ideal for this situation. Now, third, the 12 gauge shotgun. All right, let's be real, guys. This just performed horribly. Yes, it killed the threat, but the buckshot traveled straight through that door, carrying a ridiculous amount of energy. We saw 9 BBs, you know, that went straight through the door, now are in the child's bedroom. Now, as this travels, you know, when you are on an angled trajectory at a short distance, you know, that may be a small contained circle, but as that distance travels further and further, that angle is going to create a larger spread, okay? So, you know, if your children's bed is at the back of the bedroom, you know, when we hit the door, we may have a spread of this large. By the time it gets to the back of the bedroom, now we're talking this, okay? And yes, that might be a little bit exaggerated, but you get the point, right? You don't want BBs just flying everywhere in your house. So for this scenario specifically, 12 gauge is a no-go for me. I am not going near that thing when we're talking home defense, especially for a scenario like this. Now remember, when you hear this noise and you get up, you don't know what the scenario is. You don't know where the bad guy is. You don't know if he's in front of your kid's room. And guess what? You come out with a 12 gauge. You can't just say, oh, 1 second, bad guy. Let me go back into my bedroom and get a better gun for this scenario. We are looking for a gun that is best in all of these scenarios, okay? So we're going to do the other 2 tests, and then we're going to weigh and see which firearm is the best use for all scenarios in home defense. And yes, I'm not going to cover everything. I'm just going to cover the 3 scenarios of the bad guy in front of your bedroom, a bad guy has one of your family members and is trying to leave. He has control of them, remember? And third, you know, he's got cover behind something and you want to make sure that you can still penetrate through that hard material and be able to protect yourself and eliminate the threat. So again, thanks for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the further videos and the outcome of all of them, please subscribe and hit that notification button so you can see when the video rolls out. And again, when we're talking firearms, please be safe. You know, it's a tool. Train yourself, be well versed in how to use it. Make sure that you're storing it in a safe place if you have a family that is away from where any of your kids can get it, because if you don't think your kids are getting in your shit, they are, okay? And this is not a game that you want to play. So, yeah, thanks for watching.